SSD Sprint. I'm on it.
SSD swag.
I'm not on the I'm on the SSD early access. Early penetration.
Spawning on your butt.
Why? I just said early penetration, and you pipe right up about spawning on my butt. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Of course he does.
I'm gonna die though, because there's a lot more. I went in too far, too fast. What's going on, guys? Kulprit here, and yeah, I thought I'd give you a little taste of our less serious communication with my Battlefield All-Stars series squad mates, Iceman Oz, the Game Tab, and Clouded Truth. This is actually gameplay I chose not to use for that series, but I figured it was a pretty good series that I could talk over, and I kind of like that little audio clip. I'm recording this on a Monday. I feel like being a little silly, so I figured I'd share that with you. You guys, a lot of you have been asking for a after-action review on Rush, and so this is kind of one of my typical type of rush rounds. It's either I'm getting pushed in or we're rolling. So here's a quick little rush video. I figured it would be good for this format. I'm going to be bringing you more rush. Some of the guys, I think we're going to be bringing rush in the BF4 All-Star Series this week. So those who've been looking forward to that, that's good news for you. Today you see I'm using the L85A2. This is, you know, I was doing this video. I was doing this weapon for my gun locker series, and I was struggling a little bit with it. As you can see, my aim's really off. For some reason, when I use a suppressor on this weapon, it just, I don't know, feels weird for me. But let's talk about my push-up. I did, in fact, push too far, push too fast. Of course, I was making a kind of off-color joke there, but the truth is I did, and it comes from inexperience. Excuse me. On his map. I'm not very experienced on rush maps in Battlefield 4. I really, truly don't like them, to be honest. I don't think they're done very well. But this one, actually, I do enjoy. And the problem with this is I pushed right up the middle. And obviously, you see I got pinned down. Should have added some more flank to my approach. Attack from the back, whatever you want to say. I would have been better off. I know that now from experience, so that's what I would have done differently there. I do like the idea of trying to push up on that hill. Most of the crowd tries to go into that bunker, so being able to get up on top there and cover would actually help your team out quite a bit. I just didn't quite make it because that tree got in the way and I lost that gunfight. Here you see we've gotten both MCOMs. We're waiting for the advanced instructions. Little beacon there. That's not actually a bad beacon for, you know, it's too late now for them to use it, but it would have been good for the defense of the first MCOMs. You have to, in Battlefield 4 Rush, as I'm sure a lot of you know, you have to get that first set of MCOMs. Typically what happens is if the defense is going to hold, it's going to be on those first set of MCOMs. I mean, think about it like Hainan Resort. I mean, that whether you got to come in on the water, that's your best bet to defend. So if you can get that first set of MCOMs, you're going to be pretty good as the attackers. And typically then what happens is the defenders don't really put up a organized defense after that. Everybody's rambling and scrambling. Some guys are pushed way up. Some guys are way back. They're fighting over the tanks. I don't know what the heck they're doing. But basically, once you can get them, you know, backstepping, you can keep them on their heels for the rest of the map. It's that first set of MCOMs when everybody seems to be spawning in and pushing up, and they're kind of a unified front. After that, it's just a mad scramble. Here you see them just kind of go cautiously through the trees. I did remember that this is a pretty large gap between the MCOMs, so I didn't want to lose and bleed too many tickets in here. If I had the comms, you'd hear me saying, all right, guys, go slow, take your time, be careful. I'm coming back here because I see the guys on the mini-map. Trying to help these guys, trying to keep these guys up. You know, tickets, I feel like tickets go so much faster in Battlefield 4 than they did in Battlefield 3. Probably do because the maps seem to be a little closer. Obviously, all the explosives and things, so, and the gunplay is typically a little bit easier, so it's easier to kill people. Here's a good illustration. This is my struggles kind of with the L85, particularly on this map. Or this match. Sometimes, like, I feel like I'm a robot, and I use the gun, it snaps to people, it sticks to people, and it just chews them up at 800 rounds per minute. Other times, I just struggle. I can't. I think it's just a lack of usage. I don't know exactly how to burst it. I don't know exactly, you know, how to recoil compensate. It does have a lot of recoil. It's all over the place. I'm obviously going to get to that in my gun lockers video. You've probably already seen that. Actually, it should come out before this one. Here again, I'm trying to move very slowly. Look, we got plenty of tickets. We just actually took this station. We're moving up. I do see that tank there, so there's not much I can do as an assault medic. You know, so there's no sense in me running up there to get killed. Even behind those walls where I just took that guy out, like right there, that's where I would struggle with that gunfight with that guy. I mean, 81 assist counts as a kill. Gosh, that's really helping me in Battlefield 4 because I get a lot of those. I always seem to fail on that last bullet. And here again, I'm just struggling to get that kill. You see here, I think I have the compensator on it for that horizontal recoil, but trying to provide a spawn point, trying not to bleed tickets, and now we're going to push up. And luckily for me, as we push up here, as you guys know, I'm much more comfortable in domination and TDM, and as you know, we're moving into that part of the map, so it's funny, you know, as I get in here, I'm like, oh, okay. I know where to go, I know where the power positions are, I know what I want to do. Get a cheap little kill there. I don't know why those guys were so pushed up. If they would have just fell back on these rocks, they would have really been quite a nuisance back here, shooting down into our spawn, basically. But they pushed up too far. They paid the price. Here we go. Again, I'm not very familiar in this area. This area, like, this is where I would put up my defense if I was the defenders, up in these rocks. This, again, watch how I struggle with this. I just, I can't figure it out. I don't recall. Nope, looks like I have the vertical grip or the ergo grip on here, so angled foregrip might have helped a little bit. Maybe a stubby would have been better in that instance. But what are you gonna do? I do have the compensator on. It should help. I just don't personally effectively use the L85, so it's not gonna be a top tier weapon of mine. But definitely you guys should try it, because actually it's a very good weapon on paper. It's just kind of all over the place. It's got CQB characteristics, it's got long range characteristics. They don't really mesh and jive very well. But try it out for yourself, and of course, like always, let me know what you think. Here I just saw all the blues going to the other side, so I decided I'm going to go a different route, try to hold off the back flank, that sort of thing. Truth is, I don't really know exactly where the MCOMs are. I know they're not over here, but it's like, why am I going to run in there blindly? I have my squad mates over there. I'm just trying to cover the flank here, the staircase and that other staircase. I slowly come over, but then I think I rethink it, don't I? Nope. Okay, I come out this way. Again, I was forgetting which way I went. Again, for me in Rush, it's not, I mean, it's called Rush, but you don't want to do that. You want to take your time, move methodically. Obviously, you can move a little more judiciously than I am, a little more efficiently. Truth is, I'm sort of lost. I don't know the heat positions. I don't know where I'm likely to see enemies. This is L85 in a nutshell for me. Game tab there to steal my kill. Give him a little heck in the chat. But you see, I'm not really sure where to expect enemies, and that just comes from not playing Rush very often. I tend to find, obviously in the big buildings, you're going to find a lot of engagements. And in here, this little area, as I've played Rush, I get one engagement here. I think I died on one in the future. There just seems to be, when guys are coming through here, they're just, and there, I mean, I struggle to hit that guy. Seems to be just a lot of people that just file through this area right here. Obviously where I'm at right now with the rock, I have a pretty good advantage. But if you're defending, don't just run through here. It takes one guy like I am, and they can hold this whole corridor off. Obviously, it'd be good for the defenders or somebody to get some armor in here if they could, get a little more cover, that kind of stuff. But you don't see that too often. I just do find that I get in a lot of gunfights over here. That's why I go this way. I enjoy it, actually. Just, fighting in the woods. I'm trying to get this guy off the heavy. But, of course, with the tree there, kind of ruins those chances. Again, struggle to get them. But, that's kind of my experience in Battlefield 4 sometimes. Sometimes I struggle, sometimes I'm not. I can't really make sense of it, to be quite honest with you. Some matches I feel great. I feel like I finally got it all figured out. And the next match, literally the next match, the same session, it just, everything feels scrambled. And I don't know if it's the game, if it's me. I'm sure it's mostly me, but it's probably a little bit of the game leaking in there too. I do manage to get my MCOM armed. I always try to get, Jesus, at least one a match. I kind of don't like gameplay when I don't. I start, obviously I got a little too far pushed up, but that's okay to go in and get the arm. You see I switched here to a different weapon. I just got frustrated with the L85. It just, it was just giving me fits. I got killed a couple times. I edited it out for, while during reload. That reload on the L85 is really pretty brutal, so I switched to MG4. No need to worry about reload when you got the MG4. MG4 is just a beast. I probably should have went engineer. I don't know why I went support. There might have been a reason, I don't recall. Maybe some guys needed rockets or something. But yeah, it really should be engineer at this point. But you see here in the next clip that the MG4 actually comes in quite handy for me. Able to clear the room, kind of lead the charge up the stairs and clear it out as we're pushing for the last MCOM stage here. So like I said, the Zavad, Rush, it's not that bad. It's not bad. If the defenders don't defend on that first set of MCOMs, I typically find then it's a roll. If they get a foothold on that first set of MCOMs, it's really hard as attackers to get them out because they have much better positions with that whole bunker and then a hill they can hide behind, and you literally have to run across some pretty wide open territory. So you want to be out of the box, and that's why I made the joke in the intro there about the SSD, early access. I mean, if you're not on an SSD, you got to play really cautious because there's got to be schmucks like me that are in there and really pushing to get an advantageous position, especially on a map like this. Again, I think it's Hainan Resort, where you gotta assault it from the water. Yeah, I really don't enjoy that map. You gotta come in on the boats. If you're not able to get landfall there, you're not able to get a foothold as the attackers onshore, you're just not gonna get the job done against any competent kind of defensive team. You see here, I'm leading the charge of the LMG. This guy, I mean, I don't know what he was doing. He's asleep at the wheel. He definitely could have chewed me up and gotten a couple guys. But from there, we've got the easy arm. Of course, Tab steals my arm there. I do all the dirty work. He comes up, takes the glory. He had actually a pretty good round here. I think he might end up using it for the All-Stars series. I don't know. You have to check his channel out for that. Here, I try to pick some guys off. I'm pretty much here. I'm just waiting for this tank to take me out. I don't understand how he didn't. It would be a really easy shot. I just kept waiting for the shell on the side of my head and just to be dead. Yeah, we fall here. They finally run upstairs, but it's too little too late. We've got it pretty much locked down now. There you go, guys. That's pretty much a typical rush round for me. I didn't get too much into the tactics side because truth is I don't know this map well enough. I don't know any rush map enough to tell you my favorite routes and flanks and things. I will get into that. That's the idea. But as I'm learning, I'm almost just starting rush now. But almost 3 months in, I kept not enjoying my experience, but now gaming with these guys together, it's been fun. I'm trying to bring you different game modes for you guys, because a lot of you guys have been asking. So here you go. There's that rush round you've been asking for. Pretty typical round for me. It's either, we fail to get the first stage or we roll on through. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. It really helps get me up there, get me noticed on YouTube, and of course helps me grow. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy your week. I'll talk to you soon.